Hey, what's up, y'all? I'm here. I try not to stay gone too long like I did before. Yeah, I'm here, and I am here to talk about a couple of things. We're going to talk about this whole Netflix document series about Jeffrey Dahmer. We're going to also get into, what I've been doing and how I've been feeling and things like that. Also, I want to talk about the flood in Florida and a few other things. So stay tuned. Intro, please.
Welcome to another episode of Conversations with Miss Marcie.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your girl, Miss Marcie. You are tuned in to another episode of Conversations with Miss Marcie. And don't forget to share this podcast, download it, and all that good stuff. And if this is your first time tuning in, thank you so much for tuning in. And to my continued listeners and supporters, thank you so much. And I always tell you guys, you could be listening to any podcast, but you choose to listen to this one. So for that, I do appreciate you. All right, so let's get into it. All right, so first, let's do a mental health check-in. So I've been okay. Just been trying to kind of stay distracted a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, and it's been okay. Like I said, it's one day at a time, and I understand what they say when they say one day at a time. That shit is true. That's not just a statement. It's facts. You got to take it one day at a time, and I'm just trying to allow myself, just trying to take it easy. I did get out last weekend. One of my good girlfriends, y'all know Aaliyah, friend to the show, she had asked me if I wanted to go see a movie or whatever, just kind of get out the house and get my mind off things and everything. And so we went to go see Woman King, and I was actually glad I did it. Sometimes when you are dealing with death and things like that, and I know everybody processes it differently, but my first instinct, sometimes is to just kind of be to myself, just kind of be in the house, just kind of, and not really want to be around too many people and things like that. But then sometimes you got to kind of make yourself get out of what you feel like, feel comfortable doing. You got to kind of just make yourself from time to time. So if your first instinct is to just stay to yourself, sometimes you may want to get around other people, especially family, especially people who love you and things like that. So we had that outing. We went to go see Woman King. It was pretty good, and I was actually glad that I did get out. And then my brokerage had a like a little bonfire networking type of event. It was really, really nice, and so I went to that, which I made myself go do that because at first, excuse me, little indigestion there. First, I wasn't gonna do it, but then something told me, like, you know what, go ahead and do it. That was on Thursday. So I was like, okay, let me go ahead and do this. So it turned out really good. We had really good food up there. It was like a nice scenery. It was like right on the lake or whatever. And it was like a little cabin. It was so nice. So I was glad I did that. So, sometimes, like I said, we need to make ourselves get out of our comfort zone, when we're going through things, and it helps out a lot. And you need those distractions. You really do. Like, you can't just sit around and just think about your loss. You cannot. And I know sometimes it feels like sometimes we feel guilty when we are still living our life, but that's not, we're not doing anything wrong by continuing living our life. It's something you need to do. It's hard though, but it is something that you need to do. So yeah. So that's my mental health check-in. Like I said, I'm okay. I'm just trying to take it one day at a time and things like that. So yeah. Also, I wanted to mention the flood in Florida. Like, that was crazy. That was like another Katrina. Did y'all see that on the news? Like, I'm like, man, when I see stuff like this happening, it just really brings you back to the reality that, like, man, there is no point in us getting caught up in material things and getting caught up in superficial shit, because, man, none of that stuff matters at the end of the day. Dealing with the whole pandemic, and then like I said, these natural disasters and stuff, flooding and stuff, and all that kind of stuff, and hurricanes and tornadoes and stuff. It's like it always brings you back to the reality that, you know, man, like anything can happen any given time. It's like you don't know. So it's like some of this, a lot of hell, all this shit is not going with you if something happens, you know, and it's just things that just keeps you humble. Like, man, so people talk about Ohio's winters and stuff and snow, but baby, I would take the snow over that other shit any day. You know, I for real. Like, Now we may have our cold winters or whatever. Hold on, we may have our winters or whatever, but I'd rather not deal with that stuff. Like, the flooding and stuff and shit, hurricanes and man. That's crazy. So yeah, prayers to, the people who lost their lives and the families and stuff, for those people who lost their lives in that hurricane. Like, that was crazy. A friend of mine was just telling me how a young lady from Dayton went down there to Florida to celebrate her birthday, and while she was down there, she got caught in that hurricane, and I think she said something flew into her neck or something, and she ended up dying. Like, I'm like, man, man, that's just, oh my gosh. Whew. So yeah, like, it's just, it's a lot going on. But I hated to hear that, though. I did. I hated to hear that, and I hated that flood happened. I mean, that hurricane happened like that. Like I said, that was like another Katrina, and y'all know Katrina was, oh my gosh, man. So, yeah, another thing I wanted to mention, did y'all check out that Jeffrey Dahmer documentary on Netflix? So Netflix got that series going, and I just started watching it. I'm on episode number 2, and that man was so sick. And I'm gonna say this, and I don't normally say this about people, but I'm gonna say this about him. I'm glad his ass got bludgeoned to death in prison. Okay, I feel. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I just said that. But I mean, because he fucked up people's lives. I was just watching on Extra. They had two of his victims on there. One man, he's 62 now. He was sexually assaulted by Jeffrey Dahmer when he was in prison. I mean, I'm sorry, when he was in the army. And then another man was on there too. He was sexually assaulted by Jeffrey Dahmer when he was in the army as well. So the one man, the 62-year-old, said that they asked him, did it bother him when he saw the documentary, because he said he watched the whole thing, and he said no, it didn't bother him. He said it didn't trigger him like he thought it would. He said because he's gone through a lot of therapy and things like that, and so he's gotten better over time. And then the other man said that it fucked him up. It opened up old wounds and things like that. And that was one of the problems that with the whole documentary that the victims' families was having, is that they were saying that they have to relive that shit all over again. And yeah, that is crazy. And it's just, man, and you don't really understand, like, why would a person want to eat other people? I mean, oh my gosh, it's just sick. So yeah. And like I said, I usually don't like to be glad about nobody dying, but Jeffrey Dahmer's one of those people, because you gotta think those people have to live with, they have to live with that for the rest of their lives. That the survivors of him, they have to live with that. Like that one man said, he was like, he said his life has been hell because of that one person. And I mean, and then the families of the victims is like, man, ugh. But yeah, so I guess I'm gonna finish watching the documentary. I guess I might as well. I done started the shit, so I'll watch it or whatever. And so yeah, that So yeah, so let me get into this video that went viral. Erica Banks, okay, so she's a rapper. She's the one that made that song "Bust It." It's the one that went viral when everybody was doing the "Bust It" challenge. Went with, I think my butt getting big, bust it. Busted. Okay. So she did a video. She was talking about how she likes to go out only with certain type of women that look a certain way. And so it went viral. Everybody was talking about it. And so I was like, sounds interesting. Okay, let me put my 2 cents in it, okay? So let me play y'all what she said, what she had to say. And then I'm gonna come back with what I had to say.
I want her to look physically. I don't want her to come because the look of everything is so important to me. Like if she ain't thick enough, no. Her not did good enough, no. Can't dress, no. Skinny, no. And it's like I don't feel like I'm discriminating. I just want a certain type of look. She could be the sweetest girl I ever met in my life, but if she don't make a certain type of look, if she don't look how I want her to look physically, I don't want her to come because the look of everything is so important to me. Like if she ain't thick enough, no. Her not did good enough, no.
Okay, so y'all got the gist of it. So let's just keep it all the way 100. Okay, let's keep it a buck. Erica Banks is not the only woman that feels that way. A lot of women feel this way. They do. A lot of women just may not want to admit it, but they do. They feel that way. And they strongly feel that way, especially nowadays with social media and everybody want to look a certain way. Everybody want to give off a certain image or whatever. Some women just want to look like they all they kick it with is bad bitches. They want to look like, now we all say, oh, I heard dudes be like, y'all always say you ain't got no ugly friends, because I mean I feel like I don't have no ugly friends, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of men say that women always say none of my friends are ugly. Okay, but But I do notice that there are some women that only like to look like they affiliate with certain types of women. They like to look like they affiliate with only bad bitches, blah blah blah. Okay, and that's their prerogative. You know, people have a right to want to hang out with certain people or certain looks or whatever. That is her prerogative. And I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that is the person's prerogative. Me personally, I don't get into that. I really don't. I care more about things like more of the personality aspect. So I'm more so like, okay, is this chick fun to hang out with? Do she be on drama? Do she be on some fake shit? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's what I be more so on. I don't really give a fuck about another bitch, how she looking, how she dressing. But again, like I said, there are a lot of women that are like that, and I'm not oblivious to that. Shit, some women be on that. They be like, like what Erica just said, like shit. Oh, if the girl she ain't thick enough, she don't dress, I don't want her around me. Like I've seen women discriminate against other women, or they don't want to take pictures with a chick because she ain't, you know what I'm saying? They don't want her in the picture and shit like that. Women be on that. They do. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of an immature way of thinking. But again, like I said, that's what it is. And I think it's worse now because of social media and everybody wanting to look a certain way and wanting to have a certain image of themselves. But I feel like this. I think that when somebody is hung up on that type of shit, it's actually more of a reflection of how they feel about themselves, other than the girl not being bad enough or blah blah blah. It really is a reflection of themselves. It's more of a thing where I my personal opinion, I think there's a deeply rooted insecurity that person has, and they want to have their circle look a certain way because they think it makes them look a certain way. And I also think this too. I think that most of the time when somebody's hung up on something like that, it's either one or two reasons. Either it's a chick that's really pretty herself, but she might be shallow or some shit like that, or she might be a fake ass bitch. You know what I'm saying? So she cares more about the aesthetics of someone instead of, you know, what really matters, which is, you know, how does this girl treat you as a friend? Like, is she cool? Is she the type that's gonna try to fuck with your nigga behind your back or whatever? You more worried about what she look like. And then females do that. Females that be on that, they turn around and don't understand why they ain't really got no good friends, or why they in competition with bitches, because you choosing your friends based on aesthetics. So the friendship is not genuine. So again, like I said, a lot of women feel like that, like Erica Banks, but a lot of women are not honest enough to admit it. She just one of the ones that's honest enough to admit it. And I mean, real talk, I mean, I looked through her Instagram. I ain't really familiar with Erica Banks all like that. I only knew about her because her song went viral, the Busted shit went viral, but I don't really know none of her other music like that. But I went through her Instagram just to kind of, look or whatever after this video went viral or whatever, and I'm looking at her like, shit, she okay. I ain't gonna say she ugly or nothing like that, but my point is, I ain't even talking about her looks, but just based on her social media, she look like she be trying too fucking hard. She look like she be trying to, like, I mean, you could tell, like, for real, she may not have always been confident. Hey, thanks so much for listening. That's it for now. To finish listening to the rest of this podcast, go on over to Anchor, Spotify, iHeart, Apple, and any other podcast platform.